During the earthquake, he turned his back on me, a pregnant woman, to hold his white moonlight tightly in his arms. Escaping the ruins together, when I was finally rescued, the first thing I saw was her latest post. I know he'll always choose me. I quietly hit like. Not long after, the post vanished. The first time he came to the hospital, it wasn't to check on me, but to defend her. She just wanted to record the moment she survived the disaster. He said, "Don't make a fuss." I rested a hand on my still, empty belly and smiled at him. "I won't make a fuss anymore," I said. Don't miss out. Subscribe to Hebe Audio for more great stories every day. I lay in the hospital bed, staring at Zhao Han's latest post, dated 3 days ago. The very day the earthquake struck. I know he'll always choose me. Below it, his friends had left their comments. Sister Han. Better delete it. If she sees, she'll start another fight with Mr. Ko. They were right. For 10 years I'd fought with Ko Din Kai over Zhao Han. Each quarrel tearing the sky apart. But this time, I simply pressed like, pulled the blanket over my head, and went to sleep. After he carried Zhao Han out, the aftershock hit. The rubble pressed down harder, pain clawing at my belly. I scraped at the debris with bloody hands. But it was useless. The baby slipped away from me. Exhausted and faint, I let the darkness take me. When I woke, I was in a hospital. The nurse said the rescue team had reached me just in time. Death had almost won. Ko Din Kai had only arrived yesterday. After the hospital called him. "Are you all right?" he asked at last. There was a flicker of concern in his eyes, but his voice was cold. "I'm fine." Silence settled over the room until the nurse reminded me to eat. He went to buy food. When he returned, he propped me up with 2 pillows. Fumbling, she posted that only to mark surviving the disaster. He muttered, "It didn't mean anything." His hands froze, startled by my calm, as he set the meal on the side table. His phone rang. Zhao Han's voice cut through, shrill with tears. "You're still not coming back? Are you going to leave me here?" He shot me a glance and hurried out to take the call. I ate in silence. The doctor had told me to eat well to recover. When I finished, I cleaned up, throwing the empty boxes into the trash despite the ache. Ko Din Kai came back just as I dropped the last box. "Leave it, why pretend to be strong?" He had never spoken to me gently, but this time I felt no anger, no urge to compare his tenderness toward Zhao Han with his hardness toward me. I simply turned away and lay down. He stood there, phone in hand, as if wanting to say something but swallowing the words. "Go." His eyes widened. "What did you say?" "She's weak, and after the earthquake she shouldn't be alone." He frowned. "I bought that necklace you liked." Every fight ended with a necklace, sometimes the same model as before. It was his way of tossing me a rope to climb down from my fury. To see if I would be sensible again. I used to hurl them back at him, check his phone and his laptop, demand to know what he'd done with Zhao Han during his disappearances. Over and over, 8 years of it. "Thank you, I'm sure it's beautiful," I said. He blinked. "You haven't even seen it." I pretended not to hear, closing my eyes. "I'll stay with you tonight," he said, pulling up a chair. I swallowed my irritation and drifted off. When I woke, it was night, the room was empty. His coat and bag were gone. A nurse entered. "Mr. Ko said work called him back, but he told me to look after you carefully." "Thank you." He was gone, and I could finally breathe. Dinner tasted better without him. "Have you told him about the baby?" the nurse asked softly. "No." Later that night my phone rang. Before I could speak, Zhao Han's voice spilled through. "I'm scared. Will you sleep with me? You used to hold me every night." Ko Din Kai was silent for a few seconds, then hung up. Moments later he called again. His voice clipped. "She's sick. Don't hold it against her." A small laugh escaped me. "Take good care of her." He sounded like he wanted to say more, but I ended the call. For the first time, I was the one who hung up. I left the hospital in just 2 weeks. Dr. Mann told me to rest and glanced toward the hall. "Your husband still hasn't arrived?" "I've called a car. It's here." He hesitated, wanting to escort me himself. But another patient called him away. A nurse helped me to the car instead. At home, Mrs. Zhang greeted me. Where's the boss? Why did everyone ask? Did they think I couldn't survive without him? An hour later, Ko Din Kai stormed in. Why didn't you wait for me? We agreed I'd pick you up. Is this some kind of game? Before I could answer, he sneered. I wondered why you'd been so quiet lately. Turns out you're playing mind games with me? I sighed. The room was needed for another patient. I just came home early. His anger deflated. This wasn't the first time he'd left me stranded. We'd been together 8 years, the first 3. He'd been kind, but after Zhao Han returned, everything changed. No holidays, no anniversaries, just one call from her, a few tears, and he'd run to her, leaving even my parents' birthdays. His excuse was always the same. Zhao Han's an orphan. I'm all she has. And then a necklace in my hand. As if that were enough. Maybe my calm unsettled him. He sat down, lifting my chin. Is this really my wife? You never used to be this compliant. I laughed, pushing his hand away. That was then. Things won't be like that anymore. I needed to heal. The wounds on my skin were minor. What worried me was what losing the baby had done to my body. Zhao Han's birthday was coming. He had already prepared her gift. She said. He hesitated. She said she wants longevity noodles, the ones you make. Has she ever even eaten anything I cooked? The words slipped out before I could stop them. Back in school I'd make breakfast for him, which probably ended up in Zhao Han's stomach. He came closer, wrapping his arms around me from behind. She's never had birthday noodles made by family. Yours are the best. I'm tired. I can't cook. He stared at me. The doctor discharged you. Why are you still tired? What obligation do I have to cook longevity noodles for your ex-girlfriend? With Zhao Han he was always gentle, with everyone else, hard as stone. And here I was, finally speaking like stone back at him. He curled his lips. No obligation, he sneered, pulling out his phone to make a call. When he hung up, his voice turned to ice. You spoke too soon. Half an hour later, I understood. The Wa factory lost 700,000 last year. Another 100,000 last month. His assistant read off the figures in a faltering voice. Glancing nervously at me. Maybe it was the first time he'd ever seen a husband humiliate his wife in front of outsiders like that. Why did you stop reading? Ko Din Kai lounged on the sofa, eyes locked on me. The assistant shifted uneasily between us. I stood. Tomorrow's her birthday, isn't it? He nodded. I'll make the longevity noodles. They'll be on the table. On time. I didn't say another word. The assistant looked stunned. Everyone in his company had called me a dragon wife. Had seen me storm in and create chaos. None of them had ever seen me this calm. That night Ko Din Kai took a phone call and left, tossing back an unusually soft excuse, work. I'll be right back, before walking out. I didn't react. Without him in the bed, I slept like a rock. The next morning my phone woke me. My mother's name flashed on the screen, the first time she'd called since the hospital. How are you feeling? If you've got something to say it. I cut through her small talk. It's your brother, she sighed. He's gotten into some trouble. Can you ask Din Kai to help? I exhaled, not answering. Instead, I said, today's Zhao Han's birthday. Din Shi's throwing it at the house. And he asked me to cook her longevity noodles. Silence. Then my mother laughed lightly. Oh, it's just a bowl of noodles. She's pitiful. You should be nice to her. I ended the call before she could finish. My gaze drifted to the drawer where I'd long ago tucked away a certain file. After breakfast, I started cooking. Ko Din Kai brought Zhao Han home with a few close friends. Thank you, Sister Trin, she murmured, leaning into his arm. I only casually said I wanted to eat your noodles. I didn't think he'd actually ask you. I smiled. You have no family. I suppose I have to do a little extra work. Her face paled. Her fists tightened until her nails bit her palms. She'd been an orphan. In school, the teachers had introduced her to the class. Asked me to look after her. She'd always carried that fragile, broken glass aura that makes people want to protect her. I was the same. I treated her as my dearest friend. Told her everything, even my childhood crush on Ko Din Kai. She'd listened silently, even encouraged me to confess. But on my birthday, when I prepared everything to tell him how I felt, She walked in hand with him and introduced him as her boyfriend. She'd asked me to give them my blessing. The Ko family had refused to accept her. My family was in crisis and needed their help, and so a pair of reluctant partners drifted into a 10-year marriage. Trin Trin. His low bark snapped me out of the memory. I looked up into his angry stare. Don't push it. His friends chimed in. Yeah, sister-in-law. Today's Sister Han's birthday. Why act like this? You're being unfair. You should apologize to Sister Han. Zhao Han tugged his sleeve, eyes shining with tears. Forget it. I'll just go. It's clear Sister Trin doesn't welcome me. I gave a thin smile. You're only realizing that today? Trin Trin. He strode forward and yanked my wrist hard. Apologize. I should have slapped him. Like before, I should have screamed, but I was too tired. Today I finally understood. The deepest pain isn't rage, it's despair. Do you hear me? He barked again. Apologize to Han Han. I gently pulled my hand free and nodded. You're right, I should apologize. Zhao Han's eyes flickered with triumph before turning back to wounded innocence. Don't blame her. I have no home. Anyone can bully me. I laughed softly, stepped forward, took her hand and placed it into his. I should apologize, but not to the two of you. To myself. They both froze. You're truly a perfect match. I went on. One cruel, one spineless. You deserve each other, in this life and the next. Ko Din Kai shoved her hand away, glaring. What nonsense are you spouting now? I turned, opened the coffee table drawer, and handed him the file. He flipped it open, his face darkened at the first page. A divorce petition? Yes. I nodded. Just a draft. If you disagree or want to add anything, we can discuss it later. I looked at Zhao Han. Happy birthday. Probably the best one you've had in years. Enjoy it. I picked up my bag. The papers were already inside. His friends rushed to block me. Sister-in-law, it's just a birthday party. Why make it so dramatic? Don't joke about divorce just because you're angry. What about your brother's troubles if you walk out now? I met each gaze in turn. Once I leave, you won't need to waste energy bad-mouthing me to Ko Din Kai. No more covering for him either. The couple you've been shipping is finally free to sail. Aren't you happy? They fell silent, eyes down. Ko Din Kai spoke at last. Don't stop her. Let her go. I kept walking. He followed. If you cross that door, don't think of coming back. I stopped. He smirked, thinking he still held the power. I'll never come back, I said. I rented an apartment and moved in. Soon my parents called. Oh, you're so capable now? Getting divorced without even consulting us? Why should I? They were furious, spitting out words they'd kept for 30 years. After you divorce, Ko Din Kai won't bail your brother out anymore. They warned. I laughed. Then go have another daughter to drain dry for your precious son. Otherwise how will he survive? Have you lost your mind? I hung up, blocked their numbers, and turned off my phone. At last the world was quiet. I sprawled on the sofa, watching movies, reading, realizing my life could still be gentle without all of them. Days later, I turned my phone back on. Messages and calls poured in, from my parents. From Ko Din Kai. In the middle of them was a number I recognized. I called back. A warm voice answered. How's your health? It was Dr. Man. I'm all right. You still need a checkup, he said firmly. I've been calling non-stop. Do you care about your own health at all? He sounded like a stern teacher. Without thinking, I apologized. I'm sorry. Come to the hospital tomorrow, he instructed. Yes. Dr. Ho from obstetrics couldn't reach you. He called your home, your husband answered. He doesn't know you were pregnant, does he? I haven't told him. We're divorcing, there's no need. Dr. Man said nothing more, only repeated that I must come. The next day, the moment he saw me, his brow furrowed, the look of someone about to scold a careless student. I'd braced myself for it. He didn't say much at first, just asked how I'd been lately. You're really going through with the divorce? He asked suddenly as I was leaving. I blinked, surprised, but nodded. His brows furrowed, his eyes weighed me for a long moment. Do you need my help? Not yet. Afterwards, I stopped by the law office. My attorney had just returned from a business trip. She advised me to try negotiating with Ko Din Kai first. Court would drag on and the assets might not split the way I wanted. All right, I said. I'll see him in a few days. But I didn't have to look for him. He was already waiting downstairs. Winter had come. He wore only a thin coat, reeking of alcohol. His health had never been good. I'd fought with him countless times over drinking until he finally quit. Trin Trin. His voice was a soft plea. His eyes, a stray dog's eyes. The divorce, how far have you decided? He sniffled, lowered his head, his hand landing on my stomach. Voice breaking. Here, this was where our baby was. Wasn't it? Nothing in the world cut deeper than that lost child. A blade straight into my heart. Any touch to it made me choke. What's it to you? I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. He repeated it over and over, almost collapsing. But for what? Even if you knelt right here, the baby wouldn't come back. He bent as though struck by a bullet, gripping my wrist, his tears burning hot against my skin. That day, when you chose Zhao Han, you chose to abandon my child, and me. I shoved him away. Do you know how many people died in that quake? I'm lucky just to have survived long enough to hear you say sorry. You have no right. His eyes were bloodshot, lips trembling on words he didn't dare speak. Don't state your repentance in front of me. I don't accept it. I won't forgive you. It's my fault, he said hoarsely. All of it. I used to think I hated you. If it weren't for your family and my grandmother, I wouldn't have been forced into this. But after you left, I realized I'd gotten used to having you there. I was wrong. I was so wrong. How absurd. From the start he knew we were both victims of our families. His grandmother died with no one left to blame. He poured it all on me. So what now? Am I supposed to kneel and weep for your late awakening? I didn't mean that, he gasped, as though a stone sat on his chest. I just don't know what to say anymore. I turned to go upstairs. He blocked me. Trin Trin, I know I was wrong. Give me another chance. Just this once, please? If you can bring my child back, erase 10 years of damage, maybe I'll think about it. He stared blankly at me, hands falling slack like a scarecrow in an empty field. I pushed him aside and went upstairs. That night, snow fell thick, pulling the curtain. I saw him still there, white as a wooden statue. Only when Zhao Han appeared did I learn he'd collapsed by morning and was now in the hospital. She came to me, looking like she wanted to fight on his behalf. Tell me, I asked coolly, have you ever seen the mistress demand justice for her lover? She dropped the fragile act, her face twisting in rage. You know better than anyone who the real mistress is. If you hadn't shoved yourself between us, Din Kai and I wouldn't have lost 10 years. Oh, then you should tell that to Ko Din Kai. Tell him to hurry up and divorce me instead of clinging on. Zhao Han's lips curled, her gaze slid to my stomach. That baby you lost. If it could see its useless mother now, it would be so disappointed. What did you just say? I couldn't believe Ko Din Kai had told her. She laughed, a cold, contemptuous sound. That's your punishment. You always wanted a child, and I made sure you didn't get what you wanted. Call it karma. You deserved it. Slap. I couldn't hold back. My hand struck her cheek. She staggered, eyes wide. You dare hit me? She swung back, but someone grabbed her from behind. Ko Din Kai, pale and gaunt, hospital clothes under his coat. You knew Trin Trin was pregnant? His weak breath rattled, but his eyes on Zhao Han were ice. She said nothing. Her guilty face was answer enough. He turned to me. Trin Trin. Just seeing his face brought it all back, the rubble, the helpless clawing, the child slipping away. Rage and grief roared through me like a wave. I hurled my phone at his head. A welt rose on his forehead. It wasn't enough. I lunged, striking him again and again. He didn't fight back, didn't even move, letting me vent until he was covered in bruises and I still weak. Nearly collapsed, but a broad hand caught me before I fell, steadying me. Are you all right? Dr. Mann had appeared out of nowhere, carrying a big bag of tonic foods. Do you need to go to the hospital? His eyes were full of worry. No. Ko Din Kai opened his mouth, but I slammed the door in his face. What are you doing here? I asked when I came out of the bathroom to see Dr. Mann sitting easily on my sofa. A colleague gave me some health foods. I can't finish them, so I brought them over. I suspected he was courting me. You don't have to. I can buy my own. He paused, then smiled. In that case, I'll have to eat them myself. Even turned down, he stayed relaxed. His gaze flicked toward the door. That was your ex-husband, wasn't it? We're not officially divorced yet. But you will be soon, right? I froze, a sudden weight in my chest. After all, we were only doctor and patient. His question crossed a line. Seeing my expression, he quickly backtracked. I didn't mean to pry. I'm just worried, your health isn't back yet. If he keeps disturbing you, it'll slow your recovery. I'm not going to see him again. That might not be entirely up to you. He thought for a moment. If he comes back, call me. I'll help you handle it. I stayed silent. And just as he'd said, the next day Ko Din Kai appeared again, this time with a pile of health foods and a huge bouquet of roses. In 10 years of marriage, he'd only ever given me flowers once. And later I found out they'd been bought by his assistant for a girlfriend and forgotten in his car. I still remembered the rush of joy. Then the humiliation. Maybe he guessed what I was thinking. Flustered, he blurted, that bouquet, it really was from me, not from the assistant. He didn't even know why he'd lied back then. You don't? I smiled. Then let me tell you. Deep down, you've never thought I was worthy. Even if you felt a flicker for me. It was never enough to take me seriously. Every time the thought of caring for me stirred. You strangled it in the cradle. He started to argue, then fell silent, because I was right. Have you thought through the divorce papers? He asked. Do you really hate me enough to leave? Hate takes effort, I said, and I won't spend another ounce on you. I'd already texted Dr. Mann. He arrived quickly. Earlier you asked who he was. I told him with a small smile. He's the man I like now. In under 3 days, Ko Din Kai brought a signed settlement. He'd stalled because he believed I'd still turn back if he just put in enough time. Enough gestures, the way I used to. But in a matter of days he'd grown gaunt. Swimming in the coat I once bought him. As if he were wearing someone else's clothes. I know you don't like that, doctor. He said, breath heavy with alcohol but eyes too clear. You won't start something new until we're finished. You're not that kind of person. He handed me the packet. I owe you, and that child, too much. Inside were terms far more generous than I'd asked for. Trin, he said, voice thin. I know you'll never forgive me. I can't even forgive myself. Then he dropped to his knees with a dull thud. Just don't cut me off completely. A meal sometimes. A holiday greeting. That would be enough. Please? No. For the first time, I looked down on him from above, a position I'd never imagined I'd have. I don't want to see you again. A month later the procedures were done. When he learned I was officially divorced, Dr. Mann started showing up almost every day with breakfast and fresh flowers. He's a doctor with a whole blueprint for health, 3 meals mapped to the hour, and my strength returned. Noticeably, this season is perfect for Harbin, he said, flipping open a planner that scheduled even our breaths. Or we could go skiing. Skiing, I said. I've never tried. It was his first long break in 3 years. He wanted to spend it with me. He made me feel safe, always thinking ahead, arranging everything before I could worry. They say travel is the quickest way to see a person clearly. That trip pulled us closer. That night, he asked to stay. Because you're tired, he said. I want to be here to take care of you. I genuinely wanted a new life. But was accepting another man really the clearest path forward? Either way, he didn't stay. My parents arrived. What exactly are you doing? They demanded at the door. Say what you mean, I said. My mother burst into tears. Your brother's still in custody. They say we need 180 million. Or he'll rot in prison. Of course he would. He'd been raised to believe consequences were for other people. Fighting in grade school. Sabotaging a teacher's tires in high school. A regular at the police station before 25. And always rescued by them. What did he do? It took forever before they admitted it. Street racing. Nearly killing an elementary schooler now in the ICU. We offered to pay the bills. They said, but the family refuses. They want court. Are you out of your minds? I choked. He pushed a child to the brink and you're hoping for forgiveness? It's not that serious. They're framing him. I didn't bother arguing. I can't help. Ask someone else. They grabbed my arm. You can't abandon your own brother. Blood is blood. I'm not obligated to carry him. If you're sick or truly short on money, I'll support you, within reason. I've already given more than enough. I won't give more. Don't come to me again. I pulled free, shut the door, and let their insults echo in the hallway until they tired themselves out and left. A week later, the child died. The family no longer wanted money, they wanted justice. 6 months after that, the court sentenced my brother to death. My mother fainted, my father blocked my way, screaming, "This is your fault. You killed your brother." "No," I said. "You did. You raised him to believe he could do anything and the world would pay for it." I never went back after that. They didn't want to see me, I didn't want to see them. On New Year's Eve, Dr. Mann asked again, "Can you accept someone who's divorced? Who's lost a child?" He hesitated a beat, then nodded. "Of course." I sipped my wine, cool as glass. "Then why, when you introduced me to your mother, did you stick to my education and family, nothing else?" He blinked. "I didn't think the rest was necessary. You've had the choice to keep quiet about my past these days. You hide it well, but marriage isn't a performance." His patience thinned. "I told you I don't care. What more do you want? Are you ashamed of yourself?" I drew a breath. "I'm not ashamed. I just think, we're not a match." He rarely got angry. That night he left without a bite of food. And he was right about one thing. I'm not someone who can fling herself into a brand new love. The scars are too deep. He's a good man, just not at the right time. I finished dinner alone and headed out, only to run into one of Ko Din Chi's closest friends. He faltered, trying and failing to speak. I moved past him. He hurried after me. "Sister Trin, I think you should know. He's sick. It might be beyond treatment." Eyes rimmed red. He stammered, "Back then we blamed you for everything. No drinking, no late nights, and now look at him. We were wrong. I'm sorry. Please, will you see him? He wants to, but he's afraid you're still angry." My chest tightened, but I shook my head. "Tell him to focus on getting better. Please, just once." I didn't turn back. I got in the car and left. Even Zhao Han came. Her illness was congenital, for years. He'd paid for everything. She couldn't work. Her body wouldn't let her. Now that he could no longer carry the weight, she was worsening. After how he treated me. "You still came to plead for him?" I asked. She gave a small, broken smile. "I truly love him. Without him, I wouldn't be alive today." 2 apologies in one day, one of them from Zhao Han. "I never meant to steal the man you liked," she said. "You had everything, status, beauty. I only wanted one thing. To me, he was the only light. I couldn't let go." The bitter irony. The first birthday gift she ever got was from me. The first time a teacher defended her. It was because I dragged him over. Yet now, he was her only light. Before they fell in love, what had he ever done for her? Nothing. "I don't have long either," she whispered. "Hate me if you must. But please go see him. If it makes you feel better. Hit me. I won't fight back." And suddenly I saw it. He had ruined both of us. If he'd married her then, if I'd refused him then, maybe we'd both have had a far better decade. "I accept your apology," I said, "but I won't visit him. And I won't forgive you too." Her face went slack. "How can you be so cruel? Go home." She left close to dawn. 2 months later, he died. Only Zhao Han was there. A lawyer came to find me. He'd left everything to me. No siblings. Parents long gone. All he had was now mine. Not long after, Zhao Han passed too. Emptiness spread through me. In this city, there was suddenly nothing left that could make me glad. So I bought a ticket and left. I went everywhere, searching for a place I might stay. 7 years later I returned for my mother's funeral. This time my father didn't throw me out, he simply didn't want to speak. I stayed 2 days and prepared to go. He followed me to the car, rode with me to the airport. Before getting out, he forced out a single line, "Take care. You too," I said. We both knew the truth. Once love fractures, it never mends. Mercy, not force, is what lets people breathe. Ahead of me was a wide, open sky. Everything behind, the pain, the wreckage, I would leave buried in the ash.